Welcome to the show, Debt Neglector, to the Popko Project Podcast. How are you?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm just happy that I said your name right. I
You did
keep wanting,
it.
I
You
want to
got
keep saying,
it.
I want to say debt collector all the time.
Yes. So
That's been
does
done a
most
lot.
other people, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Want to say that every time?
there was that one time in Gainesville the flyer just said collector, like we were
Just
from
collector.
fucking Stoner Doom band or something.
Couldn't even get the debt in there. Or
Uh
that propaganda show, we were
yeah.
walking to our green room and we saw the sign above the door and it said Debt Neglector. There was like an extra G in it, which
Yeah, just
was an
lots of
interesting.
G's.
Okay.
Yeah. That only once for that though, but collector. Debt Collector, rather, is super popular. We still get it now. We've been around for like 9 years at this point.
That's common, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are from Florida.
Yeah, Orlando.
Mhm.
What's the weather like down there right now?
I
Actually, it's
can't
pretty
actually say I
nice.
went outside today, so I don't know.
I did, and it was pretty nice. It was like
Yeah,
mid high 70s, something like that when I went out. So not bad. We haven't hit the
yeah,
rainy season yet, so this is
Okay.
like
yeah.
the
We're
good
hanging
stuff right
on.
now.
We're hanging on to the last couple of weeks before it's 90,000 degrees every day until November. So
Sure.
Yeah.
I actually did Disney last year in June.
don't do that.
Woof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does not sound great.
I think I adjust pretty well to temperature. Well, I mean, it was
Mm.
hot. Don't get me wrong. It was very hot, but there could be worse places you could be, I guess.
I
It's
I
it's
grew up
like you go for it, Fister.
I grew up north, and I have a vivid memory of being 12 years old and coming to Orlando for the first time and taking it was July and taking the first step out of the airport onto the sidewalk and getting hit with a dense wall of the hottest, wettest air I'd ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
And now I've lived here for 18 years and I don't own shorts. So there's that.
So you get
You don't own
3 month
shorts?
stretches of that,
Yeah.
just walking out into it.
Well, I am jealous of your warm weather. It's not freezing cold here, but it is not warm yet. This area is funny. It kind of like some days it could be like close to 70 like it was last week for a day or two, and then now today was like mid 40s, kind of dreary, but
Where are
Sounds
you?
awesome though.
I'm coming live from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Scranton. That place is on the
Yeah.
TV.
I've
Yes,
seen that place before.
made famous by The Office.
Yeah. Remember, Zach, remember that time we went through there and we went to the mall? Did we go to the mall in Scranton?
We did
The
Yeah,
Steamtown Mall?
the
I think that was
Steamtown
it.
Mall,
There was like
and
four pizza places and nothing else.
yeah, it was pretty depressing. Or
There was a
kind of
How,
weird.
gym,
yes, how long ago was this?
Like,
2018.
Yeah.
yeah, 18, 19, something like that.
Yeah, I want to say.
Yeah, so now it's kind of like this like weird I mean, so there's a gym in there like you said. There's some random stores. I think the Bonton is still there, which is kind of like the anchor of that store or that
Hmm.
mall rather. But there's also like a medical facility, Geisinger is in there, and there's also a branch of a community college that's in there too. So
So weird.
it's gone from the mall to I don't even know. I think they call it the marketplace now.
Mm. I
Uh,
mean, utilizing the space, that's good. Not
I
Yeah.
going to
was up
waste. Yeah.
in I was up in Montreal last year, and the original location of where the Montreal Canadiens arena was that they won all their Stanley Cups and shit at is now a mall with it's kind of the same thing. It's like there's a few things, and then the top three levels are all a community college, and there's a
Uh,
comedy club in there, and that's
Oh,
about it.
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it's this that mall used to be like an amazing mall to go to. Like the Wilkes-Barre had a area had a mall too, and people would travel to Scranton to go to the Steamtown Mall. And then like maybe 2000, I don't know if it was six or seven, like 5 minutes away, kind of had this like open shopping like I don't want to say complex, but like I forget what it's called. It's like Montage Mountain, and a lot of people move from the mall to there.
Mm,
And I don't
hmm.
think that's doing well now because I mean, obviously we live in an age where people are just ordering shit from their phones, you know?
Yeah.
But I never
So you,
got
but
the whole the outside mall concept type thing just because like I don't want to shop when it's like today. I wouldn't want to go shopping walking around outside.
Yeah. You got
Uh,
to see Steamtown Mall in its heyday then, yeah?
I
Like
did.
back in your childhood and whatnot?
I did. I'll remember like my first or second visit there because like I grew up in the country out in Hunlock Creek, Sweet Valley area, which is probably an hour away from Scranton.
Mhm.
So I mean, like going to the Scranton area was a big deal.
True.
My
Yeah.
buddy and I went to the Steamtown Mall, and he was parking, and he parked his car and scraped his parents' car against like a divider of some kind or a pillar. That was traumatic.
Sticks with you for the rest of your life. Yeah.
I was all about telling him. I was like, just say someone hit you, dudes. And he was like, oh, I gotta be honest. I'm like, okay, that's probably the better move there. But
That's admirable.
yeah, you know,
Oh, I once spent the first 3 innings of a Mets game in the police station underneath Shea Stadium. And I got into a little fender bender at age 16 in the parking lot trying to go to a game by myself.
oh boy.
Oof.
I had like just got my license. My dad was pissed.
Oh yeah, of course.
Now you said before we started recording that you spent some time in Tunkhannock.
Yeah, Lake Cary. We used to spend summers there when I was like young, between like 6 and 12, something like that.
Small world.
Yeah. We used to go to, what was it, Scranton Wilkes Barre, the minor league team? Was it Red Barons
It was Red
games?
Barons at the time. Now it's
Yeah.
the Rail Riders, which is a Yankees affiliate.
Gross.
I'd have to agree, but they are one of my clients for my
Oh,
full-time day job. So I have to
look
uh
at you. You fancy.
I'll
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'll support the cause.
Yeah.
Support them on LinkedIn, but
Yeah.
then on your regular socials, maybe not so much.
Well, it's funny, like so I work in radio full time, primarily
Mhm.
sales, and one of the stations I work for actually picked up the team, and we're going to broadcast all of their games for the season. So, it's good. It's a good partnership. I'm a Red Sox fan myself, so hopefully they won't decide to fire me as an account rep for being
Yeah,
a.
you might.
Yeah.
I just don't like the Yankees. You might have it worse than me having to work for them as a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, well, you know, they help pay my bills, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
I'll
Yep.
support the team. I'll attend games and take my son and family and all that kind of stuff. So it's
Yeah.
good. It's good. You know it could. I was gonna say it could be worse, but I guess it couldn't be worse. But we're not here to talk about the Yankees minor league team. We're not here to talk about you know the office. We're here to talk about what you guys have going on, which is a new LP coming out April 4th, which that'll probably be out by the time this comes out. So if you're watching or listening to this, go check out the LP and then come back and listen to these guys talk about it and a little bit of their history. But yeah, Debt Neglector, new LP coming out, and it kind of rips.
We hope so.
I did it. I got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah,
did
yeah.
it. He said the thing.
It's the title of the LP. So it's exciting. I had the privilege to listen to it already, an early release, I guess you could say.
Did we name it right?
Yeah, does it?
It does. It does.
You can be honest.
Maybe even more than kinda.
Oh shit, yeah. Nice.
It might rip. You know.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of like the band called the band. It's both remarkably humble and very like we know what the fuck we're doing at the
Yeah.
same
It's
time kind of name.
it's it was so silly. We did a shirt before it became the title of the record, and it was just like the Dare logo rip,
Okay.
and it's just like DEBT for the Dare stand-in, and then it's like to keep your kids off drugs or whatever that part is. We didn't know what to put, and we were throwing stuff out, and I think kind of rips came out, but like adding extra letters to make it super obnoxious, you know.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's exactly why that was in the running for the
Well,
record
Alex
title.
Alex came up with that, and then at some point, like me and Burns were just like, we're calling the record this. And Alex was like, no, that's a stupid name for a record. I went, one, it's already on a shirt, and unless you can convince us you have a better title, go for it. And he spent 6 months trying, and he didn't.
Oh,
So
so
that's what we
here,
named it.
here we are with kind of rips.
Well, I think for the style of music and you know your vibe in general, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'll also say too, like we've been very serious and dour in our subject matter like forever. And
Hmm.
that hasn't changed lyrically, but we wanted to at least provide a little bit of levity on this one.
Yeah.
So we've got the name. There's lots of stupid sound clips tucked in, all D4 style. And yeah, we kind of just wanted to lighten the mood a little bit, if only for our own sanity, as things actually get worse.
It seems like it, right? Man. So, but before we get further, who do I have the pleasure of speaking to tonight from the band?
I'm Zach. I'm the drummer.
Chris, people call me Fister, play guitar.
So, has that name been good or bad to you over the years?
It's fine. It's old German for baker. Like, yeah, that's all it is.
Old Mr. Christopher Pfister.
Yeah,
Christopher.
my name
Christ.
is Mr. Christopher Pfister. I did much like Zach, much like Alex. At one juncture, we were all school teachers, and I was Mr. Pfister, and it's
Hmm.
fine.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I taught 12th grade English. Zach, what you taught? Middle school math.
Middle school math technology. Yeah.
And
And
what
Alex was English, I think. And
Alex
then
did
he did like
like
more like special education, like students
special
with
ed,
IEPs and
and
that stuff. Yeah.
he was more elementary school. We kind of ran the gamut. The
Mhm.
only one who came out unscathed is our other guitar player, Burns.
It's true. But the guitar player before him also taught at like the collegiate level at like an arts college. So the original lineup was like teachers across the board. And I think Pfister had just left education or like that was right at the tail end.
I left 6 months before we started the band.
There you go.
What took you out of the education system?
I fucking hated it. I never wanted to do it I never wanted to be a teacher in a million years. I just kind of fell ass backwards into it and I was good at it, but I hated myself. It was not fun.
Yeah. For me, like I actually, my goal was to become a teacher. Um, and then I got 7 or 8 years into it. They do this thing, if they find out you have any sort of skill set outside of specifically what you're teaching, they will do everything in their power to use those skills and then not compensate you for it.
Of course.
So you get all these extra, like, at least for me, like in middle school and teaching like different math and technology courses, like all these different things to prep for, but no additional time to do it. Um, they just had a bunch of like random assignments to you. Like I ran like a few different clubs and stuff like that. It just burns you out. Like you just can't keep doing it. And I
You were
think
better. You were better than me, man. I was off campus before the buses were.
I wish. Uh,
Fucking
I
bailed.
think Alex lasted the longest out of all of us.
Yeah.
Just up until like a couple years ago, I think is when he finally switched out. But he was in the same boat. He really liked doing it, but the financial part of it really caught up too, especially in Florida. It's just for so many reasons, it's a nightmare here. But education is one of them. And he's like, you get to a point where you try to start a family or, you're looking to get a house, and it's like, how do you do that on a teacher salary anymore? It's just like impossible. So he wound up switching out there too.
It's unfortunate too, because I mean, I think people who are in education and teaching the future of America, like it's a special kind of person. Like
Hmm.
not everyone can do that. I always wish that I would have, got into teaching. I couldn't do it, but like the idea of summers off was kind of like appealing to me. But I wouldn't be a good teacher. Um, I'd probably get in trouble for smashing skulls or something.
Oh, dude, I cursed. I was in 12th grade. I cursed more than the kids did in that classroom on a daily basis, and it was fine.
I had like
Never.
I somehow never cursed in front of any of my students in that entire time, which outside of school, I was probably cursing twice the amount that I do now just to make up for,
See,
having the cleanest vocabulary I could during the day,
it's
every
all
single day.
it's all about balance. You just gotta.
This is it.
I was teaching 18-year-olds. You were teaching like 11-year-olds. That's
This,
like
yeah,
that's
that's fair.
Yeah, that's gotta be a challenge though, especially today. I don't
Oh,
know.
it's tough stuff. Like we have a couple friends who are still in education, and it's just a struggle every single day. It's like demonstrably worse for them, even since, I got out a few years ago, Alex got out a couple years ago. Every year, it somehow gets worse for
yeah.
teachers. I mean, that's the goal. Part of it's to make it so bad that they can finally privatize it, right? But um, it's like just this group of people or like altruistic people who are sticking around for the kids, and it's like even they are suffering right now, like
Yeah.
trying so hard to stick with it, and it's just really tough.
Well, I think it goes back to parents too. I don't think they make it any easier.
Oh yeah, not at all.
Their
I
kid's an angel. They don't do anything wrong.
it is you have a decent amount of that, and I can't speak for it currently. Um, But honestly, I think you wind up hearing about those parents, like quote unquote, just because you don't talk about the ones you never hear from. You know what I mean? It's like it
Sure.
just winds up sticking out a little bit more. It definitely was present, but um, beyond that, it's like there's some of the bureaucracy and stuff, and a lot of it too is there's like a lot of infantilizing that happens, and just there seems to be this like general disrespect for the profession as a whole and people who are in the profession of teaching. Um, and you'll find that out too if you go to leave teaching and try to do anything else that you know you're qualified for. You'll get laughed out of every interview if you even manage to get an interview. It's like a legitimate struggle trying to
The
find
the
other types of work.
hardest thing to do is get a job that isn't teaching when your resume says teacher.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yo, for sure.
Why do you think that is?
I
Well,
don't know. Really.
it's um
Is
some of the
it
like anecdotally, some of the stuff I've heard is like teachers, especially grade school, like younger students, it always gets equated to like daycare or babysitting, right?
Hmm.
Oh, you're just babysitting these kids. This isn't that difficult. And that's what I meant by like these professionals being like looked down on or infantilized, with the role that they're doing. Um, and I think people don't see a connection of like transferable skills of
Hmm.
managing 20 to 30 people every single day and keeping everything organized and running smoothly, making sure they're learning and like performing well on all of these different tests that get thrown at you. And, that's a lot of work. It's like the toughest thing I've ever done.
I think we need a good rebrand here. I think people's that are trying to get out, just make your resume say project manager and
This is
it's
it.
fine. You can juggle
Successfully
80.
managed team of 30 people
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
It, it,
accomplish whatever.
that's what I was thinking. As like if I
30
was,
different people 7 times a
Yes.
day.
yeah, if I was like
That's it.
a hiring manager, I would be like, okay, these people like have managed 20
Hmm.
to 30 people at a time. So
Yeah.
And short-term schedules and long-term schedules and
yeah,
paperwork and all that data and all that fun stuff. And
yeah,
it doesn't seem to matter half the time.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough
But
one.
once you're out, you're out. And I let my certificate expire almost immediately so I wouldn't accidentally fall back into anything.
That's
I
funny.
relapsed real quick, but it
You
lasted
did.
about 2 months. Yeah. I was
You
like, it
did.
was because I was working a job that was paying me like $9 an hour.
Yeah,
And I
that
was like,
wasn't
well,
good.
this isn't going to work. So I tried teaching again. I was like, well, okay, confirmed. That definitely doesn't work. So what's next? You know?
Well, let's get back into the band. Obviously, the teaching is behind you, and um, the new LP comes out again April 4th. Um, Talk a little bit about the band itself, the history, and then we'll get into this new record.
Yeah. Alex and I formed the band Nursing Hangovers at the bowling alley bar on New Year's Day, 2016. We got a guitar player who is no longer with us. He's alive. He's just not in the band. And we couldn't find a drummer for a while, and we were just writing songs on my couch and shit. And my wife played roller derby with Zach's wife, and I didn't really know Zach all that well. And they were walking through the parking lot one day while we were sitting at the bar, and my wife went, "You should have Zach to be your drummer." And I went, "Cool. Does Zach play drums?" And she went, "Oh, I don't know, but he really likes music." Like that doesn't help at all. And then like 3 months went by, and it turned out he's really good at drums. So
Well,
that
that's a stretch. But I was able to play well enough to join the band. So there's that.
There's that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're only as good as your drummer, and we kind of rip. So
Well, you heard it here, folks. Yeah, it was
But
like
no,
6 months or so. Then I wound up like jumping in.
yeah, and we've been lucky enough to. Alex is he only missed if anybody's familiar with Fest in Gainesville, which is one of the great festivals we have in this world. He's played 22 out of the 23 of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, with a bunch of different bands that he's been in over the years, and we've been lucky enough to be able to do that every year. And it's only 2 hours away from home when people travel all over the world to get to it.
Hmm.
So that was a nice foothold for us right away to just like 2 months after we played our first show, we were like, we're gonna go play fest. This is scary. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and then about a year later, we switched out guitar players for this guy, Matt Burns, who's a lovely soul and a rad dude. And he has the loudest voice you've ever heard in your life in front of a microphone, which is helpful. And that was 8 years ago. And 3 albums, an EP later, here we are.
And this will be your fourth one?
This is the third full
This will be the
length.
third. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got one EP, third full length,
Okay.
some
We
other
had like
stuff.
that digital only EP-ish thing we did
Yeah,
for charity.
we did one
I
of
think like
those.
most of that stuff wound up on the LP anyway.
We did a song on a Blink 182 comp that we're not super proud of. We don't like it's okay.
I thought the drums were cool, so
Yeah, yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
Well, out of that story, I heard what I think would be a great band name, Nursing Hangovers.
There you go.
I got an app running on my phone for whenever this band falls apart. So thank you.
Just line up the next one.
Yeah.
Nursing Hangovers. I like it. And it's been like what a minute since you've put out new stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one was November of 21 that it came out, I think. Something it came out in 21.
Yeah, it was like right around that, like end of 21, beginning of 22.
We were playing we were doing a weekender with this band called The Eradicator. If you're familiar with the Kids in the Hall sketch, the entire band is centered around the Kids in the Hall sketch, The Eradicator. And we were doing a weekend with him, and we were driving to the last day of it, and the van died, and we had to turn around and go home. And then we weren't going to play any more shows because we were going to go into the studio a couple weeks later and knock out the next album, and we wanted to practice. And then COVID started, and
Hmm.
then we didn't go into the studio for 5 or 6 more months after that, and it took a long while to get that record done. But we did it, and it's okay. It's a COVID record. All COVID records are weird. It was made under the strangest circumstances, and like,
Yeah, what a time.
what a time.
What a time.
Hmm.
Hope that never happens again.
But yeah, so it's been 4 years since the last one came out.
It's a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we're definitely.
we started recording this one about 14 months ago. It's been done for a long time. We just didn't have a good opportunity to like release it. It was just the wrong time of year and whatnot. So
Mhm.
this one's kind of been a minute too. We started writing songs for it probably 3 years ago now.
And how does it feel that it's about to drop?
We still can't play some of them live. That's problematic. But aside from that, uh, good. It seems so for I think it's from what I've gathered from some people and people that know us and people that don't know us is I think we finally like honed it in that like we are who we are. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the second straight record that we've made with our buddy Ian, who produced it and recorded it. And we recorded it in our practice space, which was the studio that Ian worked out of. So it's just really familiar to do that 2 times in a row. And I think we kind of
Yeah.
really dialed in and figured out like what we are. We just are us. So
And there were some adjustments to like the pre-production process and demoing stuff too that we hadn't really done before.
yeah,
And
like
I
pre-pro.
think,
Never did it.
yeah, I mean, like obviously we would, you know, pretty thoroughly practice all the songs and rehearse them and get to a point where we felt as comfortable as possible. But this is the first time that we took scratch demos that Alex had made, for the most part. And then I wound up getting an E-kit a couple of years ago. So I was using that as a MIDI controller and then just essentially tracking drums digitally to it. So I was like able to take some time to like actually figure out my parts and listen back to things. Um, and then it wound up being something weird in the studio that we had never done before. And I don't know that we're going to do it again. But everything else that we had recorded previously, the bass player and I tracked same day, everything at the same time together. Um, and this time, because we had those like fully, like all the pre-pros done, they just put the demo. uh, through my headphones with a click, and I just played to that. And then Alex, the bass player, vocalist, wound up like tracking his stuff after that. So like we did a bunch of new stuff this time, and it's been done for so long. I think we're just like really ready for this to be out.
Yeah.
It's been done for so long too that I've forgotten most of what we're talking about. I completely forgot that's how you recorded the drums this time.
Yeah, it was it's I guess weird just because we had done it one way for so long. And like Alex and I have been locked in from the first record. Like the first day of tracking Atomic Land, we did I was like 15 or 16 or something songs.
You guys did
Uh
like 16 songs in 9 hours or something.
yeah,
It's just two, three takes of every song every 30 minutes, and one of them was right. It's
yeah.
pretty
Like we
rad to
just
watch.
knocked it out. And that's like that's an experience too where like, oh, okay, this is actually going to be something. Like the fact that we're able to lock in like this. Um, why we decided to shift that for this last one, maybe you were just feeling curious or something, but it still came out cool. Like I'm still very stoked on the end product, but yeah, we tried some different things this time, which was pretty neat.
Well, I mean, it sounds really good. And what I'm about to say is not a knock by any means, because I know how difficult this could be, but like the sound you guys have and the quality of music, like I would have expected, your Spotify numbers to be far
Mm.
greater, even your, following on social media. Um,
We don't excel at that part of the
it,
game.
it's hard, right?
Uh,
Like
We're also, I don't think we're trying to, especially in the
no.
modern day where like the only way you're going to get that kind of traction is to be making, and again, it's not a knock on anybody who does this and succeeds at it, but like making stupid fucking social media videos and like I don't know. I've seen this trend kicking around with like indie bands. It's like, which one's the drummer? And then everybody in the band sits down and tries to play drums. And
Oh
don't get
yeah,
me wrong,
yeah,
it's engaging, but we have no interest in that whatsoever.
right.
We just want to make music and play shows and be pissed off at the world and leave it at that.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
Well, and
probably
two, like, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, we had coming out of Atomic Land and then Kids Are Pissed and stuff, we had a bunch of momentum and like our numbers were way higher at that point, but we were also like doing a lot more runs. We were traveling more like on the East Coast and I think just after that we made our way to Europe and stuff. So we were just generally, I think, doing a lot more. But then you know, personal dynamics change. People are starting families or they're moving or, things are happening in everybody's personal life. And at least for me, the band is a huge part of my life, but it's not the main focus of my life. Like I didn't join this band with the intention of, being able to sustain myself on it. Um, but, I still really love doing it. But to Fister's point, it's like I don't know that any of us really have the motivation to do the social media stuff or really put ourselves out there like that because it would feel sort of disingenuous for me. Like I don't make content like that. I have no interest in making content like that, so it would feel pretty forced. I think the rest of the guys might feel pretty similarly to that. I can't really see them making one of those types of videos.
No, not at all.
No.
Well, it's probably a generational thing too, to a degree. I'm not sure how old you guys are, but I mean,
Well, I was kind of gonna say something similar to that, that like Zach isn't there yet and Burns isn't there yet, but Alex and I are in our 40s. We got jobs, we got wives, we got mortgages. Alex and Burns have kids. Zach and I don't. But like we're not gonna be huge all of a sudden one day. It's 2025 and we're 40-year-old men in a punk band. We're not gonna be big. Like we just want to make good music, and when we go play it in front of people, we want to be the best fucking band at the show, and that's what we put our energy and our efforts into.
I think that comes through. And I said before, it's hard. It's a hard game to get into. I'm in the same boat. Like this is very much a passion project for me.
Mhm.
I have a full-time day job and wife, two kids. I mean, I always say I need to start doing these earlier in the day because come 9 o'clock on a weekday, like I'm shot.
When I saw 9 o'clock was the time, I assumed you were West Coast.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely thought you were just like California or Oregon or something.
Now, so I do my best to, you know, do this at night when my kids are asleep.
Hmm.
Work, come home. I was at baseball practice with my son tonight, but my wife and I put my kids to bed. Read the books, do bath, do homework, all that kind of shit. So this is very much like a.
Hmm.
This is
Uh,
this is your decompression and your unwind and your
it is,
yeah,
but
that's
it's
good.
definitely like end of 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh man, I'm
Oh
tired.
no.
But I
I
love
was
it.
on the couch watching movies, doing my best to not have too many cocktails where I couldn't talk. So yeah, we're all in the same boat.
Are you having drinks?
No, I had a glass of wine while making pasta at
Ooh, nice, nice.
5:30. I know I'm just getting into wine. I'm grown up.
That's
Look at me.
so
I wish I could do
fancy.
that.
I love it.
I wish I could. I hate wine and I
So do
hate
I.
scotch.
Huh.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
huge on scotch. Um,
Yeah.
I don't
but
know.
yeah, I'm also like fucking poor right now. We played South by Southwest a couple weeks ago when it was, and I that Austin took all my money.
Yeah.
Still trying to recoup
That's
that one.
accurate.
Happily so, but yeah,
Right.
this is the equal and opposite reaction. I cannot get my phone to stay up straight. Just ignore me for a
It's all
minute.
right. You're good.
Oh, keep messing with it. I
Just
like that.
fucking give everybody seizures.
Yeah, there it is. I
I'll
was
have to
gonna
put a
say, man,
I'll
you've
put a
been killing
warning.
it though. You're like over what, 200 episodes over the last handful of years?
Yeah, I this will be episode when this once it comes out, I think 228 or 29.
Hell yeah, that's great,
Dang.
man.
Still
Yeah,
gonna
that's incredible.
thank you. I try to stay consistent. Now he's sideways.
I am.
Oh,
It just
good.
fell, so I'm just laying on my desk now. We're
Oh, there we
good.
go. Yeah.
This is gonna be a hell of a thing to clip.
Oh, I'm a mess. Hold on.
There we go.
Because that's my content is like a still image of the podcast release, and then I cut them into clips
Mm.
using AI technology. Uh,
The
that's
future is now.
that's my content. I don't do the TikToks. I don't do the again same as you guys.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm tired. I'm not that funny. It's just it's not in the cards. I hate the camera being on me. Like this is fine,
Yeah.
but like putting a phone in front of me, that's just really weird.
Yeah.
So
But honestly, kudos to the people who have the energy to do that kind of stuff. That's
yeah, I'm
awesome.
jealous.
Yeah.
Part of me is jealous. But part of me is here's where it is. Hopefully people watch and listen and learn more about the bands I talk to because
Hmm.
that's why I love doing it. I love, being introduced to new music because before your team reached out to me, I didn't know about Debt Neglector. So this is a good find for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
where
We're
did the name
glad
come
we
from?
were found.
Yeah, where did the name come from?
It's if memory serves, and this could be fucking revisionist history, but I remember we were kicking names around in a group thread. I don't even know if Zach was involved yet. I don't think you were
No,
there.
no, I don't think
Kicking
so.
names around in a group thread, and we were just spitballing just the worst things. And somebody said debt collector. And in the course of the next like 4 hours, I went to go get money out of the ATM, and the ATM ate my debit card because I had a credit card through the same institution that was severely overdue. So it ate my ATM card and wouldn't let me do anything until I gave them money on the credit card. And then I got home and opened up the mail the same day and had an envelope from the DOT that basically said, "Hey, your license is suspended because you didn't pay these parking tickets." And I suggested debt neglector to the group, and
I like that. I do
yeah,
like that.
I kind of immediately like rationalized it too. It's the one thing that binds the 1% and the 99 rest of us is that
Mhm.
we all don't pay our bills.
Who wants to?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Rich people certainly don't want to,
In this economy, come
even if
on.
those bills are living wages, they're certainly not paying those.
Well,
Yeah.
So,
well,
well,
Oh, well, you mentioned being on South by Southwest and a fest. What are some of your favorite songs to perform live?
it's tough.
Zach.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few older ones that have been in the set for a long time. We have a song on the first record, Atomic Land, called Gift Shop. That's always really fun to play. It just is a barn burner. It's just like one of the more straightforward, like intense street punky type songs.
I will never
Um,
get sick of that song.
yeah, it's a banger. And we played the title track off of that record, but I think collectively we're pretty much over that one. But Gift Shop, that'll stay.
Good
And
shout.
honestly, the new stuff, we've been over the last couple of months, we've been introducing some of the new tracks off of Kind of Rips into the set. And especially the last couple sets we played like at South by, maybe like half of our whole set was all new songs. So just like really enjoying those and seeing like how people are reacting to them and just getting feedback after our sets with the new stuff has been really cool.
Yeah, we're getting better at them too. The only way we're going to do that is if we keep playing them. So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of a song off of Dirty Water, the COVID record before this, called "Least I Could Do." That's kind of a set staple. We play that every night,
Hmm.
and it's most of our songs have always been politically charged, and I think that might have been the first one that I remember. Alex, our bass player, he's the lead singer. He writes all of the lyrics and about 75% of the music, and I chip in a few songs here and there, and he takes care of the vocals on them.
Hmm.
Uh, but that was the first song I think I remember where he was like, "This one isn't political. This is about my dog dying." And it was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we've all been there, buddy."
Hmm.
And especially on this last record, he's definitely touched into some more, fatherhood and shit like that,
Hmm.
rather than just being pissed off at Reagan.
Which that still exists, of
It's
course,
it's
but
very
that did
canonical.
not go anywhere.
No, that didn't go anywhere.
Well, that's a good segue. I mean, a lot of your stuff is obviously political. I mean, I think that's like the punk ethos too, right? Um, talk a little bit about that as far as, being politically charged and a lot of your stuff being that kind of focus.
Mhm.
I mean, Zach, you're better at articulating these things. We only have, so much power as four individual people. And it's a good way to express anger and at least maybe enlighten some other people along the lines that might not
Mhm.
know. I feel like anybody that's listening to us probably already knows what we're talking about. We're not like educating people and like
Right.
turning them on to
Yeah.
things. But it's always nice to know that there's other voices in the crowd that feel the same way that you do.
Hmm. It always feels it's like a response to the environment you're in, right? It's like n- I don't think Alex necessarily walks into his process with like I need to talk about this thing. I think he creates short lists for himself and like current events are happening, or it could be historical things that are tying into, different events we're experiencing now. Um, and then it always seems like really organic, right? So the four of us are very much aligned with each other politically, like socioeconomically, that kind of deal. Um, but none of us are prescribing to Alex what we want these songs to be in terms of like lyrical content or anything. Um, but we know, like I said, like we're very much aligned with each other. So, all the songs that he winds up writing, we all connect with them in the same way. And it's like if we're connecting with them, that means the people we want to connect with outside of this band are likely going to be connecting to that same thing too, right? Um, but it's been
Uh,
cool in this last one with him getting, more personal. It deals like mental health stuff, which has been a, recurring theme. But even into his family thing, because it's like his family growing, he's not just thinking about how this stuff is impacting him personally. He's thinking about how it's impacting his wife, his child, like, even in the far future, what that could look like for them. So
Sure.
I think that part of the lyrical process for him is like evolved quite a bit. And I think the message of our band is still very much political, but I think it's also demonstrating that the political stuff that we're reacting to is just it permeates every part of your life, right? Like your personal life is completely surrounded by politics, whether you view it that way or not.
yeah, and then there's a song on the new record called "Makeshift Tourniquet" that I didn't know what the fuck that song title was supposed to mean right out of the gates, and then he was remembering not so fondly about training he had to go through as a teacher about inevitably when one of your students gets shot while you're at school and you're teaching them, here's how you make a tourniquet out of your belt or anything else you can find lying around the classroom. uh, that's the best solution we have other than actual gun control, so good luck to
Right.
again. um,
That's scary. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's real life shit that you guys are writing about, and it's um there's definitely not a lack of content, I guess you could say,
Well,
ever.
yeah, if you want to write about some fucked up problems in the world, we are living through high time to find material every single day.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go as far as calling that a silver lining to any of this bullshit,
Sure,
but
of course.
it
Yeah.
is right for the picking for sure.
There's a song on the last record that's about that time they accidentally set off the nuclear warning thing in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That like, oh, we sorry, we pushed the wrong button. There isn't actually a nuclear attack coming. Sorry for that hour and a half of your life where you thought it was over. There's a song about that. Maybe Alex will write a song about fucking texting war plans. Who knows?
Yeah. I think yeah, as far as bands that are that have political ties to them, not ties, but content, and SNL, those are the winners.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had not thought about that, but yeah, that is spot on.
Yeah, that's what I always say. I mean, it's their jobs are made easy.
Yeah, the material writes itself.
It does.
Seriously.
So much of it, even like the real life stuff, is just like it. Sometimes it looks like an SNL skit. That's like, is this really happening? Is this real?
Yeah.
You have to double check that it's not an Onion article that you're
Right.
reading,
Yeah.
Ridiculous
The
shit.
chord changes don't write themselves though. We work damn hard on those.
Of course.
Yeah. You gotta make up for that somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask it anyways. Yeah, are you ever worried about kind of alienating anybody due to, the content?
No, we have a shirt that we made forever ago. I might have it in the closet back there. I'm not going to go looking for it right now. It's just a Dead Kennedys ripoff, and instead of DK, it's got DN. And on the back, instead of Nazi punks fuck off, it says racist pricks fuck off. And instead of a swastika in the circle, it's the Republican elephant. Although we made that like 7 or 8 years ago, we could just put a fucking swastika there now too. It still holds true.
Yeah.
But the rationale always was, and I've never had this happen. This is just a scenario that's played out in my head. But if anybody ever tells me that that shirt's awful, I'm going to tell them, is it worse than racism?
Right.
Yeah, that's basically my rationale. Is if we're going to alienate somebody, then you don't fucking belong on this side anyway. So
Right.
Well, I think too, it's like delivering this sort of message through music. I think we're actually setting ourselves up to prevent the alienation. Because if someone reacts to just the instrumental part of the music and enjoys it for whatever reason, and then decides to listen more closely to the lyrics or reads the lyric sheet or whatever, it's like I think people in that position may be more likely to want to learn more about that. Like, how did I connect with this thing, but now I'm so put off by the lyrics, right? Um, and I'm sort of the mindset like I'm not an apologist for any of the people in the way that they voted, but I think there's so much strength in like pivoting what's happening right now to like not a cultural thing of like working class people fighting each other, but like working class people fighting the non-working class, like the ownership class, right? So the only way to do that is to find common ground with these people. And I think education can go a long way. But that's also like, while I reiterate, being able to deliver these types of messages through music, I think is giving us that sort of opportunity to have conversations with people before they get alienated and keep going down whatever that particular path is
yeah,
on the far right side of things,
it took a lot of bootlickers 30 years to realize Rage Against the Machine wasn't on their side.
Dude,
So
I was thinking
you
about
know,
that as I was
yeah,
talking through it. I'm like, this kind of happened, but like in the wrong
yeah.
way.
Yeah, so if we're lucky, 30 years from now, somebody who likes us will realize they hate us. That's fine.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Yeah,
I think it's so much worse now. I mean, I feel like it's all we are consumed by is politics, and
Mhm.
it's more so now than ever before.
We were just talking about this practice last night. That I'm better. I'm really good at compartmentalization, and I'm not ignorant to what's going on, but I'm also not going to inundate myself with it for a little bit of sanity. And Alex and Zach were talking about their struggles and balance of not doom scrolling themselves into unyielding depression and shit like that.
I
It's hard.
can't not know,
I know.
It's like,
I'm not uninformed, but I'm also not trying to find out anything more than I need to.
No, no, yeah, and like Fister, like he is really good about balancing those things, and like setting up some sort of boundary to protect his mental well-being. Alex and I are very much the opposite of that. We just destroy ourselves with everything. You know,
Self-flagellation.
Well,
yeah.
that's a major problem though too. Like, I mean, not that you have a major problem. It's a problem with people. Like, it's from a mental health standpoint. It's
Mm,
people are committing suicide and drug habits and so many different things because it's scary.
Yeah.
it is. And I mean, like the cynical part of me, I don't know if it's all that cynical anymore, but it's by design, right? Like stuff like this happens. It's just flooding the zone. They want people to feel overwhelmed and to be confused and shut down and not care about anything. And it's fortunately like Alex and I think are right on the edge of that. Like we both still care and like we haven't shut down, but we feel it. Like, um, but there are a lot of people I know who are just like, I can't keep up with this shit. It's too much, too many things going on. Everything fucking sucks. I'm just gonna go curl up in a ball. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna do some things that bring me joy, and that's just what I'm gonna do. And that's fine. Um, but I can't do that. I have to,
Yeah, but
know
you know
what's
what?
going on. Yeah.
We're all in this shit together, and the thing about teams is that not everybody on a team has the same job. You don't need to know about everything. You don't need to try to fix everything. You just got to
Yeah,
focus
this is
on
true.
things that you can and let somebody else on your team focus on the other shit.
Yeah.
Beautifully said, Mister.
See, I'm trying to be healthy. Um,
I love that.
Also, my mother has told me my entire life that I'm far too cynical, and my response has always been, "Tell me one thing I've been wrong about."
Cynical, maybe.
Yeah.
Realistic, yes.
Yes.
I mean, do you guys feel like a responsibility as a band to speak out about these things?
I don't know if it's a responsibility. I mean, it's not like we have some huge platform. You said you were surprised by our streaming numbers. We don't.
Again, not a knock. I mean,
No,
No,
dude,
yeah,
no,
no, no, no.
I've
no,
heard
not
so
at
Um,
much
all. Yeah.
garbage out there that has
it's
like,
it's of our own making. We're
Yeah.
okay with that. That's
Yeah, we
fine.
get it.
But fuck, what was I talking about? No, we don't like have this like we know we don't have this huge platform. We don't feel obligated to do it. It's not like we have PR people telling us we have to do it or we don't have to do it because it's going to damage our brand. It's just something we've always been honest about.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
it's
like personal responsibility, right? It's like we all feel these ways. These are things we're motivated to do, and the band is sort of serving as a vessel for that in a lot of these cases. But we we don't make the band the way to do it. It's like we're all doing our own things personally, and this is just like one component of that, I think.
and Alex is a songwriter. He's the oldest of us, and he comes from a very old school punk ethos. Grew up listening to Minor Threat and Clash and shit like that, and it's just kind of ingrained into like this is what music is. And
Yeah.
when the world is falling apart around you, well, then you lean into these songs more.
Mhm.
It's like when Trump first got elected. What was it, Henry Rollins quote? He said, "This isn't a time to be scared. This is a time to be mobilized. This is what Joe Strummer trained us for."
well, I mean, it's
That's
like
it.
anything else, I guess. When you're writing music, um, you know, I don't think people would relate as well to someone singing about, I'm so happy, my life is perfect, yada yada yada.
Mm.
It's guys or girls, you know, Taylor Swift, heartbroken, I hate men or whatever it might be at the time. Or, men depressed, their marriage failed or whatever it might be. Like, it's all stuff that's relatable to people, and obviously people can relate to the world that we're all living in right now. So
Yep.
Mhm.
And then there's the levity, good message of shake it off.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't hate T Swift. I'm a T Swift fan. I just if I did say she hates men, I don't believe that, obviously, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it's just like I feel
Oh,
like if you're doing something genuinely, right? And people connect to that, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Whether, it's Taylor Swift or, the people who are at our shows or whatever, any sort of connection like that is such a cool, like transcendent thing.
absolutely.
yeah. And more so than the lyrics, I feel half the time musically, we're just very genuine and honest. We all play in pretty unique ways that we all found ways to meld into one another.
Hmm.
But we all come from completely Zach. I had to convince Zach to be in this band. I I know you don't like punk, but we're gonna be good. I promise. As long as you make us good, we'll be good. I promise. It'll be fun. I come
That
from like
was an interesting conversation too. Yeah, sorry.
no, you're good. I come from like a jazz background. I've spent the last month only listening to like Chopin and Rachmaninoff, like piano concertos and shit.
Wow.
Burns comes from a more like pop punk background, and Alex is like old school 80s hardcore background. But then like Alex and I bonded on loving Elvis Costello together. Like that was our first like musical connection and whatnot. So I think
Mm,
more so than the lyrics musically too, we're just kind of very genuine and honest with ourselves and all fit our pieces in together without being heavy-handed about it and like knowing what's right for the song simultaneously.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We're
Well,
trying.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's cool that obviously that you said before that this isn't like your, you guys are of the age now where this is fun for you guys. This is like
yeah.
a nice outlet. You're not trying to get rich or make it big off this. This is purely something you guys love to do, and I think that definitely comes, through in your music as well. So,
And we've been lucky enough to one, hopefully be good enough at it, and two, be have some cool connections to be able to go do cool things with it.
Yeah.
We're able to at this point like playing gigs, especially fly out gigs and whatnot. They're just kind of like vacations, and a lot of times our wives will come with us,
Yeah.
get an Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's just family vacation, go rip a
yeah,
gig, hang out in Austin for a couple of days. Um,
perfect.
we're going to Montreal in a couple of months and just kind of like making long weekends out of it and get to play
Yeah.
gigs.
Just have fun with it.
Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'll let you guys go in a little bit. Just wanted to talk about the new record real quick.
Yeah.
Um, I have two favorites of mine off the record. Adios Amigos or How to Self-Sabotage Without Even Trying. And Evening News.
Oh
I
yeah,
like a lot.
nice.
Oh.
What can people expect from this record?
It's a lot of it's a lot of us, but we try to always just throw different looks at
Hmm.
things of like who we are and what we are. So like Adios is just like our straight up like let's just write a fun Dillinger 4 song. Evening News was that's one of my songs. I only come up with like one or two per album, but that's one of mine. And that was just me trying to do something where it took a little too long for the song to actually kind of start. That was that was like my whole approach with that. It was like how long can I get until everybody else comes in that Alex won't kill me? Like
Delicate balance.
I could have just fine balancing it. That was like my main objective in that song. Was like,
Yeah.
and then how long can we play it at the end before Alex wants to kill all of us? Um, yeah, we're just trying to like throw different looks at things. A song called Tight Lips has been a fun one. We've been playing that live a lot. That's kind of just like our slow jam. It's just like a little 90s grunge, a little like mid-tempo thing that we haven't really done before.
Yeah. I'll say
Uh,
too, you had brought up Makeshift Tourniquet earlier.
oh yeah,
That one sticks out to me so much because it has such like a Thin Lizzy vibe to it, you know?
yeah.
Um,
It does feel like a fun Thin Lizzy riff to play it.
yeah, dude, it's so sick. And that's the thing too, is like uh what to expect. It's like it's more of our stuff, right? And as Fister's explaining, it's each one of these we're just taking it as an opportunity to do a little bit more, like explore a little bit, but they're not like it's not a radical overhaul of our sound. So if you were into us before, it's going to be a lot more of that. We hope you are stoked on these songs too. And yeah, I don't know. And sound clips, be excited about sound clips because like we
Oh
never
yeah,
did those
we
in the past, and for
we've
whatever reason
for
we
whatever
added like
reason.
half a dozen on this record. So
Yeah, there's a lot. There might be too many, but fuck it, who cares?
yeah.
All right, cool. Very cool. One more question. I'll let you guys go. Favorite movie or TV shows you're into?
I just finished a rewatch of all of Home Movies, and that show just brings me great joy. It's the perfect thing to have on in the background, and just while you're cooking or something, just fucking giggling like a child every 4 seconds for entire episodes of TV. Really well made cartoon. If you've never watched Home Movies, go watch Home Movies. It's on HBO Max right now.
Okay.
We
It's
have sorry, Fister, keep going.
I was just gonna say it's Bob's Burgers 1.0. It's mostly all the same people. It was on from like 99 to 05, 04, something like that.
Okay.
And locally here we have this like art house, like independent movie theater called the Enzian. They have their Florida Film Festival coming up, so I'm gonna try to catch as many of those premieres as I can. Um, and then shows. I just started watching the original Ultraman from like the late 60s, the Japanese show. My uncle was super into it. He got me into anime when I was a little kid, and this was like his favorite show growing up. So I've been going back and watching just like super goofy Japanese dude wears costume and beats up kaiju type of show. It's rad.
Very cool. I'll have
What
to check
about
this
you?
out.
What are you watching?
I just started, so I don't have a lot of time to watch TV. Um, so I've just been looking for like dumb stuff to watch, like before bed or whatever.
Mhm.
But I just started watching How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
Oh, dang. Yeah, I've
I
never watched
good
never,
that.
one.
I
I
never did
never.
either.
I watched bits and pieces of it. I tapped out. I hear it drags.
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw it. It's 9 seasons long. I'm like, how?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there was a Jason Segel quote of just like, "Can we fucking meet this woman already? I'm over
Yeah,
making this show."
yeah. But it's funny. It's funny. Like I'm in season 3, I think now. Um, and I haven't gotten to the point I'm like, just I'm done with it.
Yeah.
It's well done. It's funny. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, I'm surprised it lasted 9 seasons. That and Seinfeld. I will
That is
watch every
Oh yeah.
episode of Seinfeld 1,000 times.
Same.
worse. Yeah. I'm like that
Actually,
with Parks and Rec or Office,
yeah.
like all the typical millennial shit.
I actually put Seinfeld on when I'm like laying in bed because I don't have to watch it. In my head I can hear it and know what's going on.
Hmm.
So I will fall asleep because if
Yeah.
I
You
watch something new,
start giggling about visual
yeah,
gags you're not even looking at. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't watch something new in bed because I will stay up and watch it, and
Hmm.
that's my problem right now. Is I'm lacking sleep all the time. That's like my time to be alone. Like my wife will go to bed, kids are in bed. I'm not doing this. I'm like just kind of decompressing. But I'll stay up till like midnight, 1 o'clock, and then I'm up at the gym at 5:30. I'm like,
Oh,
Nope.
I'm dead today. Like it
yeah.
just, but sacrifices, I guess. But where can people find you online?
Spotify, Apple. Are we on Apple Music?
Oh yeah, all yeah,
All of them,
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
distributed to all the
Uh,
streaming things. Yeah.
we're good for an Instagram post every couple of weeks. We're busier now with it, but who knows what'll happen after the record comes out.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just probably the main one in terms of like what we're actually like monitoring and stuff. Like
yeah,
in the Instagram is
Instagram.
probably like the best one, yeah.
That seems like the creative outlet when you want to like, music and stuff that's not political based too much. It's kind of like a nice place
Sure.
to live.
Yeah, it's like the
So,
show flyers, video
right.
clips of us playing sets and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's like what you would expect for most places. No meme videos, none of us trying way too hard. But if
uh,
you want to stay up on like what we're doing, that'd be a good place for it.
yeah. We also have a buddy in Orlando who is good for. He has an extra phone for just filming shows. He'll set up a tripod and just film like
Mm.
every single band at every single show, and then just kind of casually uploads a lot of them to YouTube. So you can find us doing a bunch of '90s covers from like 2021 on YouTube
There
if
you
you're looking for.
go.
Yeah,
Sick.
Get the back catalog.
yeah.
Awesome. And then as far as the record release, I mean, any big plans once that comes out?
We're doing a weekender this coming week, which is the weekend before the record comes out, with our buddy John Snodgrass from Drag the River and a band called Virginity from Orlando, and Wolfface is in on a few of those shows. So we're doing a little weekender and an Orlando brunch show for that. We're going to Montreal to play Poozah Fest in May. We were up there in 2018, and we haven't been
Mhm.
back since, so that'll be fun. Love Montreal.
Yeah, and then
And
hopefully some flyouts or something throughout the
yeah,
year, maybe like an East Coast thing.
after that, we don't have a ton else on the books. I think we're going to be working on a cover set for Fest. Those always take more time than you'd like.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's it. Just trying to get better at the new songs so we can play more of them in front of people.
Awesome.
We are motivated to play, so if anybody has a fest or flyouts or anything like that, hit us up. We're trying to find some cool stuff to do this year.
Yeah.
Hit up Scranton. The Ritz just opened like 2 years ago.
Oh,
It's a pretty
yeah.
cool spot. Yeah.
Well, we
Done
must go
deal.
back. We didn't play in Scranton the last time. We just drove.
No, we
Drove
played at
through.
State College, I think, and
Yeah.
then we were like sort of in that area. And I have a bunch of family up in southeast Pennsylvania too, so if we do a northeast thing or Pennsylvania thing, we'll come by, say what's up.
Yeah, hit me up. That's
Cool.
awesome.
Thanks, man.
Well, Debt Neglector album titled Kinda Rips, due out April 4th. I'm excited for you guys. And
Thanks.
thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah, man,
likewise.
thanks for having us.
All right. Take care, guys.
Too.
See ya.
See you.